And it's special because it's being brought to us by Chef Randy and Frank. And guys, 'tis the season for tomato sauce. So whether our viewers are first timers or seasoned pros, you two have all the tips and tricks. You look like a beautiful family you've been doing this forever.
Yeah, this is my brother right here, Randy.
Give me all the tips, eh?
Hey!
Listen, before you guys even get started, I want to talk about what the recipe calls for if people want to follow along. So you need tomato flesh, extra virgin olive oil, some garlic, some kosher salt, and some basil. Obviously, this is pure. You can add what you need to add as you see fit, but these are the makings of a perfect tomato sauce. So how do we get started? Tell me a little bit about your traditions.
Well, when it comes to tradition, I've been doing tomato sauce with my family for years. I do it with my friends. We always have a good time. It comes down to the tomatoes as well. Two different types of tomatoes. Randy, we got what types that are there?
That's a Roma, and that's a field or beefsteak?
Yeah, slicing tomato. This is a plum tomato. When you talk about San Marzano tomatoes, that's the region where they're grown in. You want to get a nice plum tomato. These are the types that are nice, meaty, fleshy, don't have a lot of seeds in them.
Little seeds, that's drafted.
Yeah, and you want to make sure they're nice and ripe, and you can see that they've been ripened. 19th Avenue Farmers Market, you can grow them your own, or go to a nice farmer's market, buy local, and buy fresh always.
And don't get too concerned about a little dust or a little dirt, because we're going to blanch them, we're going to do that kind of thing. But I think the biggest mistake people make when they're in their backyards is they don't blanch the tomato long enough. And there's nothing worse than peeling the skin and peeling the skin. So what you really want to do is just take the top off first, right? And then give it a score on the bottom. And what that's going to do is allow the skin to kind of open up to the hot water. Then we blanch them in boiling water. And if you blanch them properly, you see it should come right off like that. You really just want to basically pinch it and whoa.
Oh, you do it way better than I do.
That was a good one. I picked the one that was really like,
oh yeah.
Because you know, Trace, if you don't, if it's kind of under blanched, then you find yourself like peeling and peeling, and that takes a long time. Like we got some work to do here, Frank.
We got three bushels. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
So that's what we're after. And then as well, make sure when you're blanching, you've got like, this is a turkey deep fryer actually. I got the water boiling, but I've got something I can put a whole whack of tomatoes into and lower it down and then bring it out. So that's kind of the key there.
Talk about smoking over there as well.
Oh, wait, you know, we're supposed to be talking about traditional, but there's nothing traditional about you and I.
No, no.
So we're a little different. So I have so many tomatoes, I thought I'd make two sauces today. I can do the traditional, but as well, I'm gonna smoke some tomatoes and make a smoked tomato sauce. Now these have been on for a few hours here, and you can just see like the smoke's kind of there on the skin, and you're gonna like, well, there's not gonna be too much skin, but look at, they're gonna burst open like that.
Oh.
The smoke's gonna penetrate, and I'm just gonna blend those suckers up. Whoo! Smoky goodness right there.
Smoky goodness.
So basically, what we're gonna do then with these tomatoes, you can go one of two ways. We can cut them in half, right? And then we can take the seeds out. Some people like to do that. Get yourself a little strainer like that over there. But I don't particularly like to do that. I like to throw the whole tomato in. The seeds don't scare me. Do they scare you?
No, they don't scare me at all. And I think that middle part there also has a little bit of extra like chunk.
The biggest flavor, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can do that in the seed. That'll catch the seeds, and then hopefully the chunk goes through, but you don't know. Then you put them on and you simmer them down.
How long, Frankie, is the whole process for you when you do it with your family?
Well, it depends on how many bushels of tomatoes that you're going to get. I know that my uncles over the weekend, and I was just happened to be too busy for them, but they did 30 bushels over the weekend. Wow. And so that was a whole weekend kind of event. Wow. Best part of sauce is when you can collect somebody else's sauce.
But Trace, I think that part of the sauce, let's be brutally honest, you can buy canned tomatoes that came from Italy and picked to the peak of freshness. You can buy that, and then you can make the tomato sauce recipe I kind of have online. But it isn't about that. It's about getting the family together. It's about working together. It's about gossiping together and doing that. But if you're going to, I see so many people sitting down and they got the things in their lap, and that's going to hurt your back. What you want to do is prop yourself up, get some bus bins like this, a cutting board. So when you're working, you'll be peeling like this and doing your thing, and that'll kind of keep you straight and forward, because I'm going to be here for like 9 hours. So I worked for an Italian restaurant at a young age, and they were purists. So their tomato sauce consists of tomatoes. They would soak olive oil and garlic like this, and then they would bring this up to a boil or a caramelization until the garlic went golden brown, and then they just simply strain it into the tomato sauce, reduce that tomato sauce by 22%. They were exact, 22%, a handful of salt, and a sprig of basil. They'd put it in a jar like this, Let's see it, Frankie. But make sure the sauce goes in piping hot. The jars have already been sanitized, so that's all good. And now we're gonna let the heat of the tomato sauce kind of like seal that jar. So what we're gonna do then, seal it up super, super tight, turn it upside down, but it's gotta be smoking hot. Is it smoking hot?
Oh, it's smoking. My hands are burning.
Upside down, leave it there for 5 hours, don't touch it, and then you can turn it over the next day and you're good to go.
Thank you for that. Are we done for right now? I know you're coming back a little bit later to do something else, Randy, but we're done for now?
We're done for right now, but you know, you can come back in 10 hours, I might be done one bushel.